This is Yerushalmi Challah, and the article Ozva edition. We're on Daf Chaf Hey Amud Aleph, right after the Mishnah. Ochna Rai Min Yisaf, which is a header from the Mishnah. In the Vilna, there's also a header from the Mishnah. It is on Yudal on the base, the last line on the page. Ochna Rai Min Yisaf. Okay, so our Mishnah said you can eat from the temporarily from a dough to galgal. So now the bechitim, which is obviously it's not the beginning of the gilgal because that's when it becomes a dough, until it becomes well kneaded. And with tamtein besorim by barley, it's lesser, softer, not quite as firm as tegalgal by chitim. Okay, so the Mishnah, the Gemara says, "Amar Chagai lo shanu el arai." This is what it says. Ochli harai. So the inference is achilas keva is also even before gilgul, because it seems like you are trying to get a loophole in order to be exempt from challah. In addition, Yerushalmi says that it's also to make a dough which is less than a shear in order to take away the issue of chiyuv challah. I'm not sure why that's relevant here, but that's to become apparent momentarily. Mibnei shumarim, we've told him in Challah, Gemara says, actually says, because you're, didn't even leave Yerushalmi, because it seems like doing something deceitful or to exempt himself from Challah. Rabbi Yosef said, in miyada leis shma mina klum. He says, no, you can't for Mishnah, because it could be a Mishnah will even allow achilas keva before gilgul, before it's well kneaded. And now it says you eat a rye, it's going to tell us that after gilgul, it's also even to eat achilas rye. Before gilgul, even achilas keva is mutter. After gilgul, even achilas rye is also, even the snack is also. Shafiu noita mimena shtaim shosh mikrotzais. If you take a substantial amount, 2 or 3 kvetches, I think, mikrotzais, likrotz means to grab from, which is kind of eating derech keva. Since whatever's left over, you're going to put back in the dough afterwards. It's still davar shlo nigmar melachto, and therefore you can eat, and that's even substantial amount, which is like a chilas keva. Okay, that's what it says. Came in Shemel Shafil Noita Menish Time shows me crotzas 2 or 3 grabs. Came in Shemel 0 davar shlo nigmar melachto. It's going to put whatever's left back in the unfinished processed dough. That's okay. Tam Rabbi Shem Zira. Let's say because of this name would be Zira b'Shem Abelazar. Am Mashalag and lo need bow. A similar case by wine. Someone's eating wine in a wine press. Even when you turn it into a keli, even though you're reading milk from the board, it's not considered wine malacha. As long as whatever's left over, you would be put back in the board afterwards. You're going to be put it back. And therefore, you're allowed to have as much wine as you want before you, even though you haven't yet miced it. Here it says, Da Amara, the Rash changed it, the Hey Da Amara. How do we know that you're not allowed? And this is what the Yerushalmi was referring to before. How are you not allowed to make your Isa into small measures, or to exempt from Chiyuv Challah, which was not explicit in our Mishnah, but in any event, how do we know that it's Asr? So, Mish Ein Yochel Asos Yisasa B'Tara Mneish Ein Yochel. It says, well, Mish Ein Yochel Asos Yisasa B'Tara. So, specifically, if he was not able to do his Isa B'Tara, Yochel Lo B'Dah. If he was able to, then there's no other ways out. You don't know the loopholes you should we allow you to use, and therefore you should not make small amounts or exempt from challah. This teaches also that was also common. A person cannot make his dough in small batches in order to exempt it from the chiyuv challah. Okay, so Yerushalmi, in the name of the Rosh Sabrio, takes the line from a little bit later on, which is just a header from our Mishnah, and puts it over here. It's about 5 lines down. So and that's the Mar goes on to say, when you make a dough from any other the chamesh minim besides chitim shechayim challah. The mishatim tamtem is the shear, which is so we said earlier than full kneading. Also, isa mina chitim mina ores. When you make a dough from wheat and rice, and we said that there's greira, the rice is nigar after the dough. It's swept along with the to the wheat and has a status of chiv challah. So where do you follow that? Do you follow achameh achar gilul achar timtum? Does it still remain gilul as if it was complete wheat, or because the rice is introduced, so therefore it's not going to have the same consistency evidently, and therefore it goes after timtum. It's not a result; it's just left difficult. Tiny Rabbi Yoshe, the Gemara goes on. Tiny Rabbi Yoshe challah kamin gavlu. In order to, when you chayv challah, when the dough becomes like a gavlu. What is a gavlu? Rabbi Yoshe said gavlulim gavlulim. Comes little wheels. Don't ask me. I don't bake that often, but whatever that means. Yerushalmi says when it becomes like little pieces like that, you're not allowed to eat from it temporarily as a snack before a day of challah. Ma palik. So there's the argument mission which has actually a galgal. Kanalacha kan the Torah. It says midaraisa it's only chayim and challah once it gets to gilgul. So I guess which means completely needed. But midarabanan it's chayim and challah. You're not allowed to snack from it once it becomes these little wheelies. Little clumps, I guess would be a good term in English. Tiny Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, Omer Mishdaseh Mikrotos Mikrotos. It's actually a later stage when it's made into grabs, but these grabs are not grabs of dough. These actually are grabs of fully formed challahs. Like the Yerushalmi says, kikaros 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 kikaros. So it obviously argues in a Mishnah. It's the Tosefta. My time with Rabbi Yehuda. What's the source of Rabbi Yehuda? And Sarah. Chuma's Goren Ketrim Mosa. Chal is like Chuma from the Goren. Ma Chuma's Goren Nitla Mina Gomor. Something which is absolutely complete. Abzumi tell us Mishagumina Gomor. So this thing from when it's complete. Well, that leaves an obvious question. After that's the case, Mishateavet. So you should have to wait till it's baked, because that's a true completion. Tanya said, "Lo chumas goren elam lechas heirus bilvad." That the linkage between chal and chuma is only that there has to be the gemar malacha of its process of making it into arisosecha. So she's arisosecha, and not the gemar malacha of making it to bread. So therefore, since it doesn't say Reshis lachnechem, it says Reshis arisosechem, so therefore it's the Gemara Malacha make it into dough, not make it into actual bread, and that's of course the Gemara Malacha. Now this is precisely the end of Dalet base. So and it ends here with the two dots. So I think we're going to do it for today. Chafem base, I'm sorry. And Chafem base, so I think we're going to do it for today.